Welcome to the Stickers on the Mic podcast, brought to you by StickerGiant.com, where we talk with our customers about how they started their business, how they're marketing their brand, and how they're growing their company. Without further ado, it's time for the Stickers on the Mic podcast from Sticker Giant. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Stickers on the Mic. This is Andrew. Today is April 15th, 2020, and we're very fortunate to have on the show today Stephanie Baudhuin from Meatless Crumbles, or ColoradoCrummies.com. And she's going to tell us a little bit about her entrepreneurial journey and what brought her to this idea and this product. And she's going to, we say every sticker has a story, but so does food. And she's going to share her food story today with us. So thank you everybody for tuning in week after week. We appreciate you so much. And Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So what brought you to make this choice in May of 2019, not very long ago, to start this business?
All right. Well, actually, I'll rewind back 2 years. So May of 2017, I actually gave up on commercialized meat, kind of cold turkey, as they say. I was working as a graphic designer at the time, and my husband did most of the cooking. So it was a little bit of a challenge for him to embrace my new plant-based lifestyle. But supportive as he was, we kind of traveled through it. And it kind of became apparent that we were having an issue every week, if you will, of what to do about Taco Tuesday. So we decided to look at a lot of the meatless crumble products that were on the shelves, and really came to the conclusion that they were all too chemically focused and frankly not what we were looking for in going plant-based. So we decided to come up with our own and got licensed, got up and running, and decided that we really had something here and went to the farmers markets to get our start. So that was back in almost a year ago. We got our start.
So farmers markets was one of your early sort of point of sales for this.
Yeah, Greeley Farmers Market, to be specific, is where we got our first booth assignment.
And how did you create the name and do the trademarking and all that? Because it is a somewhat competitive space that's really hot right now, and plant-based diets are of course in vogue. So how do you differentiate yourself there with all that in the process? Walk us through a little bit of the sort of designing the brand.
Yeah, I'll start with the name because it may have raised a bit of an eye raise. Crummies is actually Scottish for horned cow, so it does have a little bit of irony there. I do have a Scottish background, but we also just thought it was super cute and catchy, and we like being a little ironic in this household. We went through 2 trademark applications before we were awarded Crummies. We were actually going to be Colorado Crumbles at first, but there was a lot of conflicts with that, but we're actually happy it happened because we're proud to be Crummies now.
Oh, nice. And the URL is in fact ColoradoCrummies.com. So how did you come up with the recipe?
We looked online to a lot of meatless crumble recipes that were online and kind of pieced together what we wanted in taste and texture, and kind of used our own little, or my husband's rather, cooking knowledge on what could really be used as an alternative for that satisfying kind of taste and texture to be a meat alternative.
So then what exactly is in, what is the ingredients then?
Yeah, we have 7 simple ingredients. It's cauliflower, carrots, quinoa, mushrooms, red onion, sun-dried tomatoes, and garlic. That's it.
Nice. So how do you then assemble that?
It's processed. Everything's processed pretty fine to create a crumble. And then what we do is just fresh freeze it. That way it just stays frozen until you're ready to thaw it out, saute it, season it up, and enjoy. Another big thing to us was to make this really versatile. Part of being plant-based and new into the plant-based diet is that, you might be a little intimidated of what to create in your own kitchen, but Crummies is easy to throw into any recipe that you would normally use ground meat in. And that was really a huge thing for us, is to make this way of eating versatile, accessible, and super simple.
Nice. So, not that people are really going out to a lot of stores right now, but where can where is it? Where are, customers, at least here in Colorado, able to get this?
Yeah, we are housed at 3 grocery stores right now. Hayes Market has 2 locations, one in Johnstown, Colorado, and one in Berthoud. And the other one is Mountain Avenue Market, or formerly the Fort Collins Food Co-op on Mountain Avenue.
Nice. So, obviously top of mind right now for all businesses is how to keep growing and stay alive, right? And you're a pretty young business. How have you been able to sort of access capital or any kind of measures during COVID-19?
I think the opportunity has presented itself to really get creative. Obviously, we launched our online ordering platform. That way, customers that perhaps were looking for us at the non-existent farmers markets right now could find us online. And what we'll do is just drop it off to a cooler or box on your front porch, make it super simple, keep that social distancing aspect of it. You can also, if you haven't heard about it already, the NOCO virtual farmers market is another space to find us. We were really thankful to get involved with this kind of a farmer's market space. If you had asked me, 5 years ago, if that was even a thing, I would have, called you crazy. But
yeah, so walk us through a little bit about that, because I have personally a long history of farmers market love. Just the one where I grew up in Oak Park, Illinois, was down the block, and we used to go there every Saturday, and there's bluegrass. And then, I moved to Madison, and the farmers market in Madison's amazing. And then moved to Boulder, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then same thing with Longmont, like they're nice, but these huge, especially in the Midwest, like totally different story. So to even think of it in general in this region, a farmers market is tough, even though there's some good ones. But what is the NOCO virtual farmers market?
It was launched on Facebook, and it started out with 100 people shopping on it and only a few vendors. It's grown to, I think the last time I checked, over 7,000 people shopping on it every week.
Wow.
Basically, you shop through an album of vendors who showcase all of their product. And there's ordering times every week, from like Monday to Thursday. They pick what they want, and it is actually delivered to your front door as well. So they're keeping up with that social distancing aspect. But it's been an amazing opportunity for my business as well as other small food businesses out there. But it really, really doesn't replace, like you said, the community feel. I miss telling my story face to face to customers.
Yeah, when we have booths at events, there's really, to scale one-on-one doesn't work, right? But to make a connection with somebody, another human, is obviously like kind of what we're all in this
absolutely
to do in a way in life. But yeah, I'm looking on the Facebook page, and it's deep. It doesn't show how many people are on here right now, but yeah, like if you say there's in the thousands, that's really astonishing. Like as a public group to function like that. And it's a natural fit, but you're obviously hopefully able to get yourself in front of some new, it's a small network, but hopefully it's like kind of deep. You know what I mean? You can get return. Yeah. At least you like, oh, I went through my 3-pound bag or whatever you guys sell, the different denominations. And then it's like, oh, we got to go back to the virtual farmers market. If that's what people, if they're feeling most comfortable to do that.
Yes.
I could see that being a great play. That's really interesting. And then I'm noticing looks like you got a Google form, for your ordering process right now as sort of the life hack with that. Which is nice because then you're not doing a lot of vendor sort of stuff and you're going, it looks like it says a secure payment via email, which is really great, right?
Yeah, just keeping it simple again.
Keeping it simple, right? For you as a young business, and then also for your customers who are new and just getting used to your this time, because you do, of course, want to point them to those in-person experiences.
Right.
So one way that we sort of were able to set this all up is you're part of a program called E for All, which Sticker Giant has some mentorship opportunities with our staff mentor there. And we have actually some folks who are going through the program as well on side projects with their family, which is kind of interesting. Can you talk a little bit what E for All is and how's that functioned for your business?
Yeah, so E for All is a entrepreneurship for all. They specialize in communities that have possibly been overlooked for entrepreneurship opportunities. And really, the business accelerator that I was part of was at no cost to me. And it was What it is an intensive part in the beginning where you are assigned 3 mentors that will walk you through a bunch of business goals, help you form a business plan, and really just give you some structure and discipline in that arena. They take on businesses that you could just have an idea, or you could be like us and kind of have a business going, but really need some momentum to get where you want to go. An excellent resource. I am forever thankful that I got involved. And I actually met Harris at a farmer's market booth. He was set up right next to me, so it was kind of serendipitous that way. And, they're also going to be taking applications till May 20th for their summer accelerator. Just a little plug there. If you have any questions, to go on eforall.org.
eforall.org. If so, those of you, especially if you're out here in this region and you're looking at sort of getting some local networking. Obviously, we got Stephanie here from Crummies, but eForall looks like a very cool community, and they're sort of all around the country, mostly in Massachusetts though, and then here in Colorado. So nice. Thank you for that tip on that program. And those accelerator sort of incubator programs they're a great place to find like-minded people who might be focusing on something different than you, but people are drawn to entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
So what was your sort of background? What has equipped you for this Crummies journey that you're on? It sounds so bad.
Yeah, I got you.
I love you. Like you said, it's like a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's like, there's a really crummy journey. I didn't mean, I'm sure you've heard all the puns, but what set you, like you said, it was a little over a year ago that you got the idea, and it was sort of one of those home kitchen kind of things, which is great. But before the home kitchen, before moving to a plant-based diet, what was your experience?
I was working as a graphic designer at the time. I loved being creative. I loved the aspect of seeing something from start to finish that I had a hand in creating. I think my entrepreneurship journey. I watched my husband start his own small business, and kind of watching him, be self-employed, but also have such pride in his business and something that he built, and he's in complete charge of, if you will, was really inspiring. My father always told me that working for yourself is probably the greatest thing you can aspire to do. Oh, nice. And I really just saw my opportunity, and I think my work ethic has really just prepared me for this.
Nice. That's awesome. It's always interesting to see, I've been doing this kind of stuff since I was in high school. So it's always been my path. I've always enjoyed, I love interviewing people and just talking to people. So very thankful that we have this show and that I'm able to talk to people like you and really celebrate these stories. Now, a couple more tabs on your site that I want to navigate people through, and also just to kind of glean some of your wisdom. When you're doing the home brew, right, you're doing the home kitchen hack, and you want to make this product, you don't have a lot going on here, right? Like as far as ingredients. So were you testing different stuff, or what? How did it get to that perfect mix for you all?
Testing different stuff, and also the quantities of stuff, because, you could just make, we were kind of starting with just cauliflower and mushrooms, but really wasn't doing a lot for us.
Right, you didn't have enough savory.
Yeah. And kind of sweetness, and also a little bit of a crunch in there. Well,
you get that from the tomato, the sweetness a little bit. Yeah.
And then the quinoa kind of adds a little bit of that, I hate to say the word gristle, but yeah.
But there's a mouthfeel on meat, totally, right? Where you have to work for it.
It was important.
The texture of refried beans, you're not chewing that.
Yes, that's right.
Right? Where if you want a burger, you're craving protein like that. You want, it is. It has it's a pure texture play.
And I also point out, we're not making it taste like meat. I know, right. Without mentioning names, but there's companies out there that are really trying to, mimic the taste and make it bleed like meat and all that. We're really just trying to focus on the versatility. That way you could just throw it in.
Right, because you are getting the nutrients from the cauliflower and the quinoa, for sure.
Right.
and you don't want to name names, but I do notice you have like a comparison chart on your site for the other four
Yes.
big names. And we don't have to name them because people know
Right.
our audience is smart enough to know what you're saying. But I do notice, and I will say this for folks who head to coloradocrummies.com/comparecrummies.pdf. You will see that the list of those other four brands are extensive as far as their ingredient list. Right. And like you said, you probably did enough of your due diligence to like set them side by side. And you also were not happy with the amount of additives that were in those other products. And that guided your like laser focus to strip this down, which is pretty rad.
Yeah. We just found them unnecessary.
Right. If you're able to replicate it, probably far more affordably too. The biggest thing for me and my family is like, we would love to do that just to mix it up, but it's like very prohibitive from a cost standpoint. Yes. And then like the kids are like, this doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Well, they're young and they have very limited palates, but my daughter is more adventurous. But in any event, she knows when someone's trying too hard though. So the last tab I really want to talk through is this recipe tab. It's also the ingredients tab, but you got some nice pictures of food in progress, and then you got the steps here. Are you looking at continuing to grow this? Because there's some fun concepts you could really get into, right?
And what's really been fun is watching what our customers create, and they've been kind enough to send those back to us, so we can kind of see how creative people are getting in, the kitchen, and it's been really rewarding just to see what everyone's coming up with.
Crummy tacos.
That's right.
Put that on the menu.
Yes.
We got portobello caps. You got meatballs, which I'm a huge fan of.
Those are my personal favorite.
Are they? Is the meatballs?
The crumballs. Yeah, the crumballs.
Crumballs. Excuse me. I did.
No, you're fine.
It is actually spelled Crumballs Meatless Meatballs. It says that on the website, so that's on me. I apologize. I mispronounced it. Everything else is called crummy. I love it. So that's really great that you're able to just give customers, consumers another option, especially in this very I see competitive space, because now obviously, especially with restaurants not really able to do what they do or not able to source. Are you looking at just, instead of just this direct consumer model, is there any other plans? We sort of like to tie this up towards the end of our talk about, what's next? What are you excited about? I mean, my mind goes to a few places naturally, but I'd like to hear more from you, the articulation of what you're sort of looking at now. In your first year, obviously you couldn't have expected a global pandemic. So that's not when you were at Eat for All in December, you weren't like, so in March when nobody goes to eat anywhere.
That's right.
A grocery store, we are going to do this. So you've done your pivot, but you still have big plans, and you sat down to do this a little over a year ago to create something. So what does it look like a year or three from now?
It looks like, being in restaurants. We are really excited for the restaurants to reopen, be better, and we would want Crummies to be part of that grand reopening. Like you said, timing is a challenge right now, but we actually were in talks with a few restaurants before this all hit, and we are continuing those conversations so we can be part of their reopening. So we would like to get on a few menus here in Longmont, but also beyond, and just grow like we can. I think we have a bit of a niche being local, as well as our simple ingredients, but we are a local company. We're based out of Weld County, and we're small right now, but we do have big plans.
Nice. That's awesome. So when it comes to productizing this, just to give folks a sense of what they get, what are the options for them?
Yeah, so what it comes in is a frozen 1 pound package, and it does have a beautiful label on it from Sticker Giant. Thank you for that.
Is that right?
It is right, and we've been proud to have that since the beginning.
That's awesome.
So it is something you just throw in your freezer, then you just take it out, thaw it, much like you would a pound of ground meat, and just saute it up, season it, and you're good to go.
Right on. Well, thank you for being a Sticker Giant customer. And that is what this show is all about, is to tell stories like yours. So Stephanie, we really do appreciate you. And, like I said, we know that there's a lot going on for some of these small businesses. And you already have a lot of moving parts when you're trying to create something from nothing, right? So it can't be too. You just got to be positive about it, right? And like keep going, because right now we will get folks back into the stores and back into the restaurants, and hopefully the Crummies can be a part of that. In the meantime, folks, where can folks find you social, and what are your preferred touch points to get these folks their Crummies?
Yeah, so preferred to order online at www.coloradocrummies.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at @CrummiesCo. And thank you so much. We've had a really good time.
Yeah, we appreciate you, and best of luck. And to all of our listeners, we're going to put some links up to those different recipes in the site, and we'll look at maybe trying to get one of these in our future edition of one of our cookbooks too. We always do our staff cookbook, so this would be a very natural addition. And you could probably take, folks, any of the recipes on the Sticker Giant website that we have for our cookbook and probably swap in a Crummy if you wanted to do that.
Simple as that.
There you go. It's really like, don't have to, I think the message I'm getting from you, Stephanie, is just the simpler, the better. Right. Yeah. And in food, like, we said at the beginning, every meal has a story behind it. And we appreciate you sharing your story. But yeah, if you head to stickergiant.com/cookbook, you can pull any of these recipes and add just add it to the chili con queso from Hamish even there.
Delicious.
So delicious. So nice synergy there. I appreciate you, Stephanie. We'll be following up in a little bit here as the year goes on, because we're going to want to see your growth, and we look forward to that. And we wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Stickers on the Mic. It's been my pleasure to be Andrew, hosting Stephanie, and you know where to find us on stickergiant.com/podcast, and we will see you next time. That wraps up this episode of Stickers on the Mic, brought to you by stickergiant.com. You can download us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again for listening to Stickers on the Mic. We'll see you next time.